8th. Yesterday we started our lesson number 6, the ant lion. We came to know about the ant lion, how it attacked the other ants, how it tricked the other ants. And in this activity, there are two children who saw that activity, who took much interest, and even they participated in that activity of hunting the other ants. They put the other ants on the pit made by ant lion, and they enjoyed that game much. And in the last moments, the boy put an other ant that was large in size, that called meat ant, and he thought that that ant could struggle much to save itself, and he wanted to see the fight between that meat ant and that ant lion. So in that paragraph we just read here how that ant struggled much to save itself, but what happened to that ant we will see here now. But now the ant lion moved quick, dexterous means skillfully. It thrust its stumpy forelegs from the sand. Stumpy means short and thick, and began to jerk its head. Heavy and tool-like, sand flew up, hindering the big ant, setting the wall, slipping down. Ah, Max breathed. Look at that now. So the ant was struggling, but there was a hindrance in its way, that was sand. When it was trying to come up again and again, it slipped down towards the bottom. Now see in the next paragraph, the ant slipped and slipped, in one staying in one place. It was growing tired, but it was clearly in a panic. Its legs worked frantically. It means that it was moving nervously. The hot shadows of the tree above moved across and across. The cicadas filled the afternoon with their monotonous shriek. It means that much time has been passed, and the two children continuously watching that game. The battle swayed. Morwenna moved aside. Her rib was against a knotted root of the tree, and as she moved, Max gave a shout of triumph. Oh, what happened? She tossed him aside and peered down. The girl was just tired, and she just changed her position of sitting when the boy shouted. It was a shout of happiness when the girl again peered down, and he asked what happened. The ant lion had seized the meat ant by one leg. Those relentless tool jaws hung out like the jaws of a dingo harassing a sheep. Dingo here is wild dog. The ant caught at last was putting out a desperate effort. His free legs thrashed wildly. He made a little headway, but the weight of the grub-like creature braced against him was too much, and he could find nothing to grip. So we can see here that the ant lion just hold one leg of the other ant. It tried hard to save itself, to free itself, but it couldn't, because the ant who was holding it, its weight was much, and it could not be succeeded in its effort to come out. So I ought to save him, Morwenna thought. I ought to let. Mother would call it cruelty to animals, but she no longer wanted to put down her twig even if Max would let her. Shamed and raptured, she clung to the tree root with one hand and stared down. So there was a sudden feeling inside the girl that to save it is cruelty to put that ant into the pit. But later on that feeling disappeared, and its shame it also carried away, and she decided to continue to see that game. So what happened we will see on the next page. Just look here, the struggle again of that ant. The ant grew weaker, slower, his struggles more spasmodic. It means nervous. Its struggle becomes more nervous. The ant got tired and nervous. The ant lion saw his chance now. He released the leg and made for the ant's body, seizing him by the abdomen. There was a wild scurry in the pit now, the ant rearing in the fontaining sand. They could see those shovel jaws working. So the ant lion just grabbed that ant. It was struggling very hard, but now it's useless. It tried to come upright, but there is a sand that is the big problem for that ant, and it could not be succeeded in its struggle. The silence was strangest thing, Morwenna thought. Round them the afternoon continued. A wedge-tail hopped on the fence. Other ants ran placidly about their business. The creek blue made its endless liquid noise over the rocks, but to the two children all had shrunk to the dimension of the pit and the creatures in it, engaged in their soundless struggle, plunged and reared enormous. So here we can see that the atmosphere, the writer is telling us what's going around. There were birds, there were other ants moving calmly, there was flowing stream, but the two children were forgetting about every other thing, and they were much involved and much interested in that war. They were much engaged how the two creatures were fighting. It was a soundless struggle, plunged and reared enormous. The golden air should have been full of their shrieks and groaning, but we cannot, the boy and the girl could not even definitely hear the sound of these two ants, but they said that they definitely would making out some type of sounds while fighting. Now the ant fell. All was over. His waist almost swerved, his legs quivering in the air, its mean trembling, moving. He lay helpless. How quickly, how ruthlessly mean cruelly, the ant lion pulled him down, avoiding the last kicks of those thin, useless legs, touching him, swaying abdomen from the body, hiding him in the sand to serve for larder. It's mean the storage of the food. It's mean it just now make that ant into pieces and saved half of the body in the storage to eat later on. Where the other ants lay, the creature seemed like a little machine, a tool for some energy that possessed him. Hideous, it's very ugly, swift. He sent a shudder through Morwenna as she watched him. In all that scene now gave her a shudder. Slowly, the ant lion and his victim sank into the sand. Now they disappeared from the scene. Now they were only humps, sand covered. Now they had vanished. Now they were not on the scene. They lay the pit still and innocent, its contours unchanged. Max sat up slowly. His eyes looked large and dark. It's mean he was much involved in that game, and he was surprised at the end. He just thought that that ant could be victorious at the end, but it was not happened in this way. So now Max stood up slowly. His eyes looked large and dark. Are you going to put in another? Morwenna asked. She half hoped, half feared it. She was thinking that now his brother is going to bring some other ant to put on the pit. No, Max said. He stood up, not looking at the pit or at Morwenna. Enough is enough. Are you going to bring Harry down and show it to him? Morwenna persisted. Oh, stop it, said Max. He stood uncertainly for a moment, detaching himself from the scene, from the afternoon, from the Morwenna. Then he set off down the creek bank, running faster and faster. Morwenna stood hesitating, then she too began to run. At last they stopped, far from the pit, exhausted and panting. What shall we do now? Morwenna said. So here in this last paragraph we can see here that the feeling of the children were changed. First, they were enjoying the game, and the boy was even much excited while he was putting that large ant into the pit. But when that last ant just he was not successful in its struggle, it failed in its struggle, it lost its life. Then the feeling of two children changed, and now they feel exhausted, they feel sad, and they ran off from that point.